it all at this point. For years now, he has posted videos to his channel that focus on him exploring some of the creepiest abandoned buildings in the world, including churches, schools, libraries, and more. In this particular video, published to his channel in April of 2022, Chris ventures out to explore some mysterious tunnels that prove to be more than he bargained for. In the description of the upload, Chris writes, quote, "Today I explored a mysterious tunnel and saw something strange. I took on one of the most dangerous explorations that I've ever attempted. Over the course of one whole day, I traversed more than 10 miles and a confusing and seemingly endless tunnel system hidden deep within the forest. As I entered the portal, I noticed it was oddly quiet and I began to have a strange feeling I was being watched. While I continued to explore deeper within the tunnels, I started to notice signs that I may not be alone, which led me to have one of the most terrifying encounters I've ever experienced. So with that context out of the way, let's get into it. At around the 18-minute mark, Chris is wandering around the tunnels when he suddenly pauses and looks to his right. What he sees next is absolutely pulse-pounding. Two incredibly fast creatures can be seen darting from around the corner before eventually retreating back into their hiding spots. Amazingly, if Chris did indeed see these two horrifying creatures, he didn't seem to be too bothered by them. About 20 minutes later, towards the end of the video, Chris is wandering down a terrifyingly dark corridor where the only thing he can hear is the sound of water rushing underneath his feet. But in just a moment, a new sound is added to the mix.
What the? Did y'all hear that? Sounded like somebody screamed.
A couple of minutes later, Chris is thankfully able to make it out of the tunnels in one piece. However, despite the fact that he made it out alive, there's no denying that there was certainly something viscous and terrifying waiting for him in the tunnels. The following story is a part of the SCP Foundation series and is simply titled Substation 9. The story in question follows an unnamed man who says that he works as a security guard at a facility during the graveyard shift, checking various substations to make sure an OCB hasn't been tripped. He says that the area is a couple thousand acres of woodlands, rivers, and country roads, with the occasional warehouse in a field, and says that calling it remote would not do it justice. Sadly, he explains that the townsfolk were forced to flee after a colossal flood destroyed a large portion of the surrounding area. But as for his job, he explains that he does the exact same thing every single day. Check substations and pumps to make sure they're fully operational and in working order. Some of the tunnels he worked in are centuries old, and the blueprints of which have been destroyed by the devastating flood. Because of this, he says that there is an almost colloquially shared statement that nobody should go inside the basements. Don't wander, don't explore. Go down, do your job, and come right back up. No funny business. And one last thing, always bring a backup flashlight just in case your other one dies. Otherwise, you're screwed. The farthest anybody has ever gone in the tunnel is 500 yards, and nobody has any clue as to what lurks even further down than that. It's a complete mystery. For the next little while in this post, the uploader explores the tunnel's conditions and what it's like to be down inside them, stating that all workers must enter with an O2 monitor because they are worried about small pockets of nitrogen that can be hard to detect with the human eye. He also says that a lot of the time, the tunnel often smells horrendous. As for the whole 2 flashlight thing, the uploader clarifies that once the battery dies on the other, if you don't have a backup, you'll be shrouded in endless miles of darkness with no phone reception. In other words, you may die down there. This is where things start to get interesting. The uploader talks about his co-worker who he identifies as John, saying that he was a clever man and good for numbers. John kept to himself a lot of the time and was a quiet person who didn't bother anyone. One year, during a thaw, sump pumps were getting overwhelmed, too much water was coming in, and they simply couldn't pump it fast enough. John wanted to hook up some of these old centrifugal pumps that were sitting around in the basements. Although it was a lot of work, John stuck to his plan, and hunted down every pump he could find, serviced them, hooked them up with hoses, and managed to keep the substations dry all the way into late spring. A few days after things got under control, the uploader did a swap and ended up coming in during a day shift. When he arrived at the trailer, John's truck and more importantly, John himself was gone. The latest entry in the job logbook mentioned heading out to check on a sump pump in one of the substations. So, without hesitation, he rallied up a bunch of fellow workers to go into the substations, but they were all baffled when they couldn't find a single trace of John whatsoever, no matter how hard they looked. At one point, the uploader even called the police, but they too couldn't find him. Fast forward 1 year later, another co-worker named Patrice took the uploader aside and showed him something that was found during one of her rounds. A flashlight with dead batteries, tape wrapped around it with John's initials written on it. He goes on to answer some more questions about what he does for work, but one thing truly struck a chord with readers. He says, Patrice said that on at least 3 separate occasions, she has heard something like muffled old-timey radio music playing from below. Months go by, and the uploader says that a co-worker named Ed has shockingly found John's phone. Going through his photos, all look normal and familiar, except for a few places the crew simply did not recognize. Bizarrely, John's phone was found in Substation 9, but the aforementioned logbook did not state that was the substation he was checking on that day. A little later, police were called to do another investigation, and sure enough, they think they found John's body. Here's where it gets really scary. The last post the uploader would ever add onto this story simply reads, "It wasn't John's body." And this is the final video attached to the story, where something truly creepy can be heard. I hope you haven't been following this story at night, otherwise now you are almost certain to be in bed with the blankets pulled up over your face. Sweet dreams. TikTok user Mafia300C uploaded a series of 3 different videos from varying angles to their account on August 28, 2022. That seems to showcase something legitimately unnerving in an office building window directly in front of him. The uploader can be seen filming an office building in front of him, which looks to be normal enough. Some of the lights are on, seemingly suggesting that people are still inside working. But as normal as this building may look, there's something genuinely eerie about it that the uploader is about to witness firsthand in just a moment and will surely scare him for the rest of his life. Take a look.
Alright, and you see this thing?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. What's happening with the lights? Because I'm looking
The lights are...
hallway, and I can't see, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird fucking noise. Please don't tell me that as you said that.
Dude, it just moved.
No.
There is clearly something quite odd that appears in the office building window that the uploader is freaked out by, and understandably so. Take a look at the other videos to see what else was captured.
Don't judge me. Security! I just want to talk. Security! I love this building. This building's so cool.
Did you throw that?
Throw what, dude? I just heard something.
Something just threw across the room.
What?
Dude, something just...
I'm outside the door. I don't have access to that unit.
I don't even think I got it on video. My phone was just angled up, but something just got thrown at the window.
Security! Please open the door. I know you're in there.
Something just got thrown again.
No way, dude. I'm out. I'll be down in a minute. Does anything look broken? Like glass? Security, I know you're in there. What was that?
Yeah, what was that noise?
Dude, that was just behind me.
Was that like a fire alarm or something?
No, dude, it was a squeak noise. Like something just moved behind me. What the dude?
What do you make of these clips? Was there some sort of spirit roaming the halls of the office building that night? If so, what did it want? Be sure to leave your theories in the comment section down below. The final spot on today's list comes from the popular Reddit thread Paranormal Reddit, where users can upload videos relating to the paranormal, usually looking for answers. User Lazy Ray Scallion published a video on the community where he explains that the footage is security camera footage of a conference room and that it was sent to him by a family member. The video is extremely short, clocking in at just 10 seconds in length, but 10 seconds is more than enough to send a shiver down your spine. Take a look and see if you could spot what is so creepy about this video. In case you missed it, in the background, we can see a black shadowy figure walking around and then disappearing shortly after, almost like it wasn't even there. Zooming in and slowing down the footage doesn't really make it easier to come up with a good explanation. It could very well be achieved with the help of visual effects or camera trickery, but it's hard to be certain. It is still unknown to this day what the conference room footage captured, but whatever it is definitely a scary piece of footage. Over on the Backwoods Creepy subreddit, users can find a wide variety of terrifying videos taking place in the wilderness. This particular video was recorded by Throat Sing King, who was out in the woods one day when he recorded this footage. In it, we watch him as he sings outside, practicing his vocals, when right from the beginning, we can see a dark figure standing far in the distance. Take a look and see.
Pretty sure he was looking for where the sound was coming from, but I stopped and started talking and now he's confused.
But as soon as the man starts to sing, things get incredibly strange. Little did he know that towards the end of the footage, he ended up recording something truly terrifying that's sure to chill his bones when he goes back to review the footage later on.
Alright.
A bizarre humanoid-type figure can be seen in the distance, causing many commenters to be confused and creeped out by the frightening discovery. There are even a few skeptics in the comments who are having a difficult time explaining the figure away at the end of the video. So what do you think this figure is in Throat Sing King's video? Do you think this is a humanoid entity? Is it just a person? Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this entity in the comment section down below. Amy's Crypt is one of the most popular channels on YouTube when it comes to videos relating to the paranormal and horror in general. Her channel is loaded with great authentic content that I highly recommend you check out, ranging from unexplained mysteries, creepy rituals, abandoned building explorations, and plenty more to keep you entertained. In one particular video uploaded to Amy's channel on October 25th, 2020, she ventures out to an old haunted church which appears to be run down and where many have claimed to have experienced paranormal activity. The video in question is over 40 minutes long and is jam-packed with tons of creepy content for you all to enjoy. But one of the creepiest moments happens at around the 27-minute mark when Amy sits down in a certain area of the church and hears strange noises that frighten her. Take a look.
Did somebody say Tom earlier?
Oh shit. What was that? What just happened? Oh shit. What was that? Oh shit. What was that?
Oh my god.
What happened? Did the light just go
The
off?
light just something just fell.
Turn that off.
Is there somebody down there?
Something balancing or something like that?
What the heck?
Something balancing or something like that?
What the heck? What the heck?
Then, just a couple of minutes later, Amy proceeds to another room in the church and begins to sit down for a little bit. But they seemingly can find peace even when taking a breather, because something odd gains their attention. Look at this.
I don't know.
Let me come around that side so people can see. So this is Amy's
look.
box that
It's
she
not like
puts-
a floppy thing, like I actually need to...
And the cable's gone off now.
It's moving.
It moved.
Am I making it?
You can blame faulty batteries or electronics within the ball, but that seems like reaching for answers at that point. Of course, it is entirely possible, but ruling out the paranormal doesn't seem fair. Regardless, Amy's video has plenty of moments that are sure to give you the creeps. A man named Chris runs a YouTube channel called Urbex Hill, which is a great spot for those who love to watch urban exploration style videos. This video of his, published in August of 2021, is certainly no different. In the video, Chris is exploring a haunted abandoned historic temple that was built all the way back in 1905, its original purpose being an old telephone company. Throughout the decades, it changed to many different places, including a women's club, but was eventually turned into a Masonic temple in 1985. However, the building was left abandoned in the year 2000 after Freemasons decided to go elsewhere. Ever since then, it has been untouched. The nearly 20-minute video is packed full of creepy bits and is sure to satisfy those who love urban exploration videos. But without a doubt, the most unsettling moment comes about midway through the footage, when Chris walks into a massive room that seems to be completely empty. Except it isn't.
It's really sad that they let this historical place fall apart like this. Damn, man, that's crazy.
It may be hard to see when initially viewed, but when the clip is slowed down and the brightness is adjusted, you can see what appears to be a dark shadow walk inside a room before disappearing entirely. Chris states that while he was filming in that room, he thought he saw something move out of the corner of his eye, but wasn't entirely sure because of how dark it was in the room. When he reviewed the clip later on, however, all of his worst suspicions were proven to be true. What do you think this dark figure is, and what were its intentions? Is it really an entity, or is it just a trick somehow? Be sure to let me know all your ideas in the comments below. Your sons or daughters were just little kids can, for most families, be some of the most precious videos in the world, because you're able to essentially go through a virtual time machine and see life as it was for you and your family years in the past. In short, a home video of your kids is often a video you cherish, and upon first glance, this video of a young boy dancing along to a song by the rock band Green Day is exactly that too, an innocent and cute video. But this home video soon takes an incredibly sinister and unsettling turn.
Dan! Dan, look at Liza, go like this. Liza, hey, like this. Liza, look at, hey. Eliza, go like this. Were you dancing to some Green Day? Dance, go.
The dancing boy turns around after a few moments, and it's then when he starts to look at something. This something strangely resembling that of another young boy. But if you look carefully, you can tell for certain that it's not a reflection from a mirror or anything like that, but rather a completely different child. In my opinion, this is one of the most unexplainable and creepy pieces of paranormal footage out there, because it begs the question, if this is not paranormal in nature, then what else could it possibly be? I don't think we will ever get the answer. Fast-growing YouTube channel that frequently uploads videos depicting abandoned building explorations as well as general paranormal investigations, all of them being highly unique and terrifying in nature. The backstory behind this investigation goes as follows. Richard inherited his grandparents' house after they passed away. After some time in the house, he began hearing noises coming from the attic. Richard decides to check the attic, thinking there could be an animal, but finds nothing except for a journal. Reading through the journal, there are descriptions of animal torture and sacrificial rituals, and the murder of a man. After that, the paranormal activity in the house got worse, so he decided to set up cameras while he was gone. The following piece of footage was recorded by Richard in the middle of the night. Right from the second it starts, it certainly gives off unsettling vibes, and those uncomfortable feelings turn out to be for good reason. Look at this creepy incident that occurs involving his phone. Then another scene is shown that was filmed in the kitchen area of Richard's house, and at first everything seems to be completely normal and innocent, but take a good look at the water machine and you will see that something is very amiss here. Then a different angle a few moments later shows some very creepy things happening in the kitchen. Take a look.
To see if anybody, or to see who it was.
Yeah, right.
But you also mentioned on the phone when we talked to you that there was an odor as well.
Yeah, it almost smelled like a butcher shop.
A butcher shop.
Yeah.
I gotta say that's some of the best paranormal footage that I've ever seen. Who do you believe wrote the journal then?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay. What are you hoping to find out from our investigation?
Well, I'm kind of hoping that you guys are able to bring peace.
A while later in the video, the paranormies are using an Ovilus device in one of the bedrooms, which speaks to them saying reason. Then immediately afterward, this happens.
Reason?
What reason did you have?
No way. Oh, holy shit.
After this, they proceed to head outside to the exact spot where coordinates were given to them in a journal, fully expecting to find evidence, animal bones, or some sort of ritual, or maybe even a body. But while they are out there, they hear something truly terrifying, something that nobody would want to hear outside in a desolate area, much less at night. Watch and listen to this.
Ow. What is that, firewood? Oh my god!
In a separate part 2 video, we see more footage that was filmed from Richard in what appears to be a living room, and it doesn't take long at all for things to get a little unsettling. Look at what was captured. A couple of minutes later, the paranormies are sitting down at a table for a moment, but still making sure that they are still recording. It's a good thing that they were, otherwise they would not have been able to capture this terrifying incident on camera.
Okay. Oh, that freaked the shit out of me. What
yeah,
is
now
it?
it's leveled.
Level?
Now it's starting to say stuff.
That's exactly what happened like in his video.
At the 12-minute mark in the investigation, they are finally trying to make communication with any potential spirits in the area, when the man behind the camera urges any potential spirits in the room to let us know you're here. Judging by what happens next, I think this spirit heard him.
Let us know you're here. Thank you. Oh, my hands are shaking.
The group then conducts the investigation in other areas of the house, but are stopped short when they hear something eerie coming from the upstairs area. Listen to this.
It sounds like somebody else is in this house.
Oh my god.
That's loud.
Where is that coming from? It sounds like it's coming from behind me. Like up here.
Some people wouldn't dare go upstairs after hearing a sound like that coming from the area, but the paranormies are determined to get to the bottom of this and figure out what is in this house messing with them. one of the crew members walks downstairs for a moment, carrying his Oculus device, which says something very creepy. He then asks the spirit to scream for him, and while it doesn't obey that command, it does do something else rather remarkable that definitely gives them the proof they need that they are not alone in that house. Look at this.
Scream? Can you scream for me? Can you imagine?
Whoa. Light just went on again.
Oh my god.
If this video is authentic and nothing about it was staged in any way, then I must say that the Paranormal's video is definitely creepy and is amazing proof of the existence of the paranormal. On Twitter, recently tagged me in a tweet that went a bit viral. He said that the CCTV footage was caught on the security cameras of a store near his house. His grandma used to own the building, so when the new owner saw the video, he immediately sent it to them. Evix also stated that it couldn't be outside lights, because there's no windows in the room. After tagging me, I decided to contact him privately. He gave me the following information, quote, "Also, the original owners kept their kids' toys in a storage area that used to exist under the stairs. And according to my grandma who bought it from the original owners, they sold it because their child passed away and they wanted a fresh start. The way it leaps over the staircase and seems to go under the stairs makes me think maybe it's the ghost of the kid and he's looking for something to play with." End quote. From the information gathered, it would seem like this could possibly be the ghost of a child. It's certainly a compelling piece of footage, and going by the replies to this tweet, it would seem that many others believe this to be a real ghost sighting. What do you guys think? If you were to take a quick look at Eon Jun's YouTube channel, you would find an assortment of videos relating to the popular Pokemon video game series, which is obviously nothing scary. However, there's one particular video on his channel that certainly stands out like a sore thumb for being absolutely terrifying. In the description of the video, Eon provides a little bit of context, writing, quote, "I was exploring an abandoned nursing home. In the first video, I was just trying to be creepy and posted to TikTok before I realized I actually got something. The second video, I returned with a friend of mine because I wanted to have someone there to share the proof. We weren't prepared to handle what was going to happen." End quote. So now, with all that context out of the way, let's take a look and see what Eon was able to record that day. As Eon walks down the dark and deserted corridor of the abandoned nursing home, a figure appears at the end of the corridor. Whether it's a threat or not is anybody's guess. In the second video that Eon took while in the nursing home, he's walking around the building with his friend, trying to film proof of paranormal activity within the area, and sure enough, he gets exactly what he wished for. Have a listen.
Whatever it is, I can tell.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Hey, let's go.
Alright.
I know I saw something, and I know I'm not fucking crazy.
An extremely chilling, demon-like scream can be heard coming from somewhere within the building. But obviously, as soon as the two friends hear this, they try their best to run as fast as they can away from the area to make it out of there alive. Thankfully, they do, but it still doesn't make this piece of footage any less terrifying. What was making that guttural scream? And what was that figure in the first video? These are questions that will never be answered. On October 12, 2008, a YouTube channel uploaded a video of what appears to be security camera footage being filmed at Phoenicia Library, located in New York. During the video, we can't see much due to the grainy nature of the video's quality, but once a few seconds passes by, something chilling occurs on screen. Take a look and see if you can spot it. If you missed it, look to the left of the screen. There appears to be some sort of ghostly apparition moving around for a few seconds, but it is enough to scare whoever watched the tape back afterwards. Sure, it could have been a person working there extremely late at night, but it could also be something much creepier than that. Still to this day, no explanation for this video has been released. A woman on TikTok with the username Sam I guess uploaded a total of 4 videos recently that showcase some seriously creepy activity happening. In the first video, we see the uploader roaming around a dark and eerie room. Other than its atmosphere though, it doesn't appear to be anything too extreme. However, something happens shortly after that freaks the uploader out. In the second video, she explains that she was in the room earlier, saying that the lights aren't working at the moment, which is why it's so dark inside. She also shows a small pumpkin-shaped object and says it fell to the floor beforehand. However, while filming, something incredibly strange captures her full attention, leaving her totally speechless.
This is the dry room where we keep the food and stuff, and like the carts have like fudge on them or whatever. I don't know why that thing fell earlier.
Unfortunately for the uploader, it seems as though the terror also follows her home, considering the events of the video that you are about to watch. At the start of the video, she says that she has been hearing tapping noises coming from somewhere inside her house. She then proceeds to walk into the living room, where she asks her family if they have been making the strange noises, at which point they tell her that they thought she was the one making the noises. She then walks into the bathroom and discovers that it seems to be coming from the shower.
Are you guys tapping on something out here?
No, I thought that was you. Oh, yeah.
Wait, shh. Where is it? The shower?
What the hell?
The fourth and final video shows the TikToker sitting on the stairs talking to the spirit that may or may not be living in her house. Quote, "So since you like to slam doors in this house, do you think you could do it now?" Unquote, she asks. A couple of seconds go by with complete silence, and then...
Do you think you could do it now? No way.
One thing that's evident from watching this uploader's videos is that she's definitely living with some sort of strange spirit, but whether or not it is harmful or just eerie is anybody's guess. Let's just hope that this TikToker can one day go about her life living in peace and not in fear. What seems like a video of an average man laying down on his bed, perhaps relaxing or taking a nap, quickly turns into something hair-raising and chilling. Take a look at this.
Hicimos grabar ahorita porque se está escuchando algo en el closet. Dios mío, ¿qué es eso? ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Quieres algo? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? No inventes, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué se abrió? Se abrió. Espérate, cálmate. ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Te podemos ayudar? ¿Necesitas algo? Dinos. ¡Se asomó alguien! Alúzame. Espera. Espérate, alúzame. No hay nada, mira, no hay nada.
At first, it seems as though a strange clicking or tapping sound is coming from inside the closet, which is definitely something that you would be concerned over. However, if that wasn't creepy enough, the closet door opening all by itself in the middle of your room would scare you silly. And the creepy figure inside the closet is terrifying enough to want any sane person to move out of their house immediately. We can only hope that Luan and his loved ones are safe and have gotten answers after this video was published. After all, your home is said to be the safest place in the world, but videos like these further prove that anything could happen to you, regardless of where you are. On May 3rd, 2015, a YouTuber named Phil Cock published a video to his YouTube channel where he ventures out to an abandoned haunted house at an undisclosed location to have a look inside and documents the process for subscribers to watch and enjoy. Before Phil enters the building, he does look genuinely worried and a little bit anxious, which is interesting to note considering he does these kinds of videos on a frequent basis. Nevertheless, he musters up the courage and bravery to go inside. Once he enters, he reaches a staircase and asks if there's anybody inside. He probably wasn't expecting this to happen.
Hello? Anybody in here? Anybody in here?
As creepy as that strange voice calling out hello to Phil was, that was definitely not the scariest thing that happened to him during this particular day. He goes outside and enters the house through another entryway, which is when he points his camera at what appears to be the inside of the living room. It doesn't take long at all for something truly creepy to happen to Phil.
Anybody in here? Hello? Anybody at home? Anybody? Shit!
After this happens, Phil makes a speedy exit from the area, which is definitely understandable. Despite the fact that he uploads plenty of content related to the paranormal and abandoned building explorations, it doesn't seem as though he has ever revisited this location after this initial upload, so we may never know what happened inside this abandoned house that day.
Anybody at home? Anybody? Shit!
This next video was uploaded by South Korean YouTuber D-Doc Mikol and follows him as he explores an extremely run-down and terrifying area that showcases just how brave and also dangerous he likes to live. He enters an abandoned house that is located in the area, and it doesn't take long at all for him to start experiencing just how eerie this particular house is. At around the 3-minute mark, this can be heard.
어디 계세요?
Not even a full minute later, while looking at a window in a different area of the house, you can see something absolutely horrifying just outside that will surely cause you to lose some sleep tonight.
뭐야? 누구세요? 잠깐만요.
About a minute later, the uploader is checking a room and finds some bed covers that he's about to pull off, just to make sure there's nobody hiding underneath them. Sure enough, this happens.
혼자가 뭐에 이렇게 많아? 잠깐만요.
Thankfully, the uploader then makes it his #1 goal to race outside as fast as he can to get away from the horrors of this house, and manages to make it out in one piece. D-Dr. McCall is known for his abandoned building exploration videos, but one can only hope that he never ventures back to this particular place again for his own safety. Some people went to Gettysburg, and at sunset they heard fife and drum music at a wheat field. In the description they said, quote, "Other than the occasional passing car, we were alone. We followed the intermittent sounds, but could not find anyone nor locate the source of the music, always ahead of us." End quote. The video is almost 13 minutes long, and the music can be heard throughout, but not once do they locate the source of the sound.
Hear the drummer? Do you see anything? I've been hearing it for 5 minutes and I don't see anything. I mean, we wouldn't be the first ones who've heard drums here when there's no people here. But it's hard for me to believe I'm actually hearing it.
Was someone sitting in the dark playing music, or was it the ghost of the Battle of Gettysburg? If they really are the ghosts of the battle, then they've been roaming this area since 1863. It's a spooky and mysterious video that really makes you think. The Paranormies are a popular YouTube channel that sees the titular paranormal investigative group heading out to various different places that are said to be haunted. In this particular video that was uploaded in November of 2021, the Paranormies head out to a house that is, you guessed it, supposedly haunted. When they take a stroll through the interior, it is abundantly clear that the place has seen better days, and the sheer lack of sound alone would make most people who dare venture inside change their minds instantly. But not the Paranormies. At around the 6-minute mark, one of the crew members notices something rather disturbing in an adjacent room.
What's that? It's a dead bird. You never said anything about like birds and stuff being in here.
That's gross. Pick it up.
I don't want to touch it.
Get some toilet paper.
Well, can we like sweep it up or something?
That's disgusting.
How did that get in?
I don't know. Is that open the window? Unless it gets into the basement?
Maybe.
Later on, the group heads upstairs to conduct their investigation a bit further, which is when they hear something that practically freezes them in complete shock and awe.
What was that?
You heard something?
What was that?
You heard something? You heard something?
About 15 minutes later, they decide to set up a laser grid device to help see if there's anything malevolent in the room, as well as an EVP device. The results that they get is nothing short of chilling.
Even when I said, like, hey, it did RAC, am I okay? Like, thank you. Like, I don't need you to continue on. What? Shut up. What did you see? I heard the wrong.
A shadow.
Really? Rachel, are you
Right
here?
from here, this way? Like over this way or that way? Oh God, that was me.
I had no idea what Johnny saw. He was standing in the kitchen, I was standing on the landing, and we were just talking about our Ouija board results, and he just took off like a bat out of hell at something in the living room. Yeah.
And even halfway through Rachel, but it would stop like between the letters.
Even when I said, like, hey, it did RAC, am I okay? Like, thank you. Like, I don't need you to continue on. What? Shut up.
At this point, things are definitely starting to escalate for the group, but nevertheless, they decide to press on and move down to the basement, which proves to be just as creepy, if not creepier, than the upstairs floor. It doesn't take long for them to hear some strange noises once again, as well as notice a bit of bizarre activity coming from the REM pod devices that they set up in the area. Take a look.
You heard that?
Periodical.
What does that mean?
Periodical?
You
That's
heard
a
that?
weird one. Was there something from the room?
It's like a little tap. You heard that? Footsteps upstairs?
I heard it.
REM pod?
And then another one?
Just about a minute later, one of the men, Johnny, begins to hear mysterious tapping-like noise coming from the kitchen while using a Ouija board. When he goes to investigate, something truly eerie happens. Fully after this, the paranormies decide to call it a day and end the investigation, which was probably the wisest decision that they made that day. Who knows what dangers would have awaited them if they decided to stay even a few minutes longer. Angel Martinez posted this video to her YouTube channel in June of 2021 and starts off simple enough. Angel and her friend are driving around late at night in what seems to be some sort of dark and untraveled area at this time of night. However, their typical nightly drive is interrupted when they start to notice something strange not too far off in the distance. Upon closer inspection, they start to realize that they are not the only ones out on the road after all. Take a look.
Right there. There's more? I see you. Can't run away. What the f? That's it right there, huh? What is that? It's so scary. In the middle of nowhere. How weird. How weird is that? Whoa.
Although it can definitely be a bit difficult to see because of how dark it was at the time of the recording, if you look hard enough, you can definitely make out what appears to be some sort of tall, lanky figure roaming around outside, leading Angel to believe that she saw a skinwalker that night. Of course, Everything is up to personal interpretation, but the description doesn't seem too far off from what a skinwalker looks like. However, we live in a day and age where it becomes easier to fake videos, so what do you think? Is this genuine footage of a skinwalker roaming around late at night? Or is this just a fake? I'll let you be the judge. Over on the Sir Spooks subreddit, user Nando Perez uploaded a video of an extremely bizarre Zoom class call. Zoom is a place for millions of people to hold meetings with colleagues. Teachers can teach their students there, and many more. Capturing creepy events is typically not something people do on the app, with the exception of this video. Take a look at the creepy footage.
Estoy solo, estoy con mi perro, de cualquier materia. Es decir, si nosotros estamos estudiando, tanto el movimiento no existe, relacionado con lo que dice Raúl, el gato de... No me suena la... tanto el movimiento no existe, relacionado con lo que dice Raúl, el gato de... No me...
It appears as though the ghostly face peering in at the man from the start captured his attention, because he eventually tilts his camera in the exact same spot where the figure was just moments earlier. Just when the man thinks that there is nobody there and starts to resume his call, the figure can be seen again crawling on the floor and moving around for a few seconds, disappearing and reappearing numerous times.
Si nosotros estamos estudiando, relacionado con lo que dice Raúl, el gato de... No me suena la... tanto el movimiento no existe, relacionado con lo que dice Raúl, el gato de... No me...
It is entirely possible that this could be a home intruder lurking around his house, but it could also be that of a ghost or some sort of entity. Regardless of whether or not this figure is a person or a spirit, this is certainly something that you would not want to see roaming around your house. Do you think that this is a person or a ghost? Is this even a real video, or is it all fake? Be sure to tell me your opinion in the comments.